Mr. Anil Kale. He has been with PXIL since 2012 and is currently the head of strategy and regulatory for the company. He is a mechanical engineer with a master's degree in power management. With over 27 years of expertise in the power business, he currently manages the regulatory compliance of the power exchange and helps to create the contracts that anticipate and meet the transacting needs of market participants. Mr. Kali will share his views on the Energy Conservation Amendment Act 2022, the promotion of market-based transaction across the energy sector. So delegates, let's welcome Mr. Anil Kale.
The brief that you have provided for with regard to Energy Conservation Act and also market-based renewable energy is also coupled with the fact that we in the sense during the COP26 event held recently, the government of India has come out with a net zero policy which says that by 2070 we will be achieving net zero, and the start for that is based on where we stand today. So which is basically what it says is we are at least fourth largest power of renewable and solar energy. When it comes to climate change performance index, which is termed as CCPI, we are placed at number 8, and which is best among the G20 countries. So if G20 as a group is found to be one of the major proponents of development of economies among all the countries that are part of the UN climate change proposal, we being placed at number 8 could be an encouraging sign for us to perform better and try to be at a much higher level. And we also have the International Solar Alliance to unlock US $1 investments in solar by 2030. So India is a major contributor in that solar alliance. And as part of NDC, we have a transition to cleaner energy provided for till 2030. Now this is where we stand. And what is it that we have committed to achieve net zero? It flows from the Panchamrit scheme, which has been proposed by the Prime Minister during the COP meet. And what the major highlights for this Panchamrit scheme are basically the 5 schemes, wherein it says by 2030, we will raise our non-fuel energy-based capacity to 500 gigawatt, meet at least 50% of energy requirements up to 2030 from renewable sources, net zero emissions by 2070, reduce total projected carbon emissions by 1 billion tons by 2030, and increase the carbon intensity of GDP to be reduced to 45% by 2030. So these are the major net zero goals which they have identified to achieve by 2070. And one of the major steps which government of India has taken to proceed towards this net zero policy is by amending the Energy Conservation Act of 2001. And now they have come out with the Amended Act of 2022, wherein it provides for a carbon market to be created, and this market to be driven by market-based promotion or measures which all the stakeholders will be taking in. So when we say stakeholders, it's both the government, it is the policy makers, it is the financial institutions, it is all industries at large, and all various user industries, including individuals like we ourselves as household consumers, or maybe we ourselves as contributors in the profession that we undertake, whether it is at corporate or whether it is as part of farming community, whether we are farmers, agriculturists, horticulturists, whatever it is, whatever role we play, everyone will contribute in this big carbon market which we will adopt or implement in days to come. So the amendment which has been provided for in the Energy Conservation Act now provides a law for us to develop rules related to carbon market. As everyone of you is aware, there was this Kyoto Protocol of 1992 which was proposed, which provides for CRs to be developed, CRs to be traded, CRs to be engaged, and India was one of the major beneficiaries of this Kyoto Protocol because that led to a good amount of investments in the energy conservation space, wherein most of the private entrepreneurs made good use of this opportunity related to CR compliances to be made by industries in the developed world who couldn't take those steps or measures. for carbon reduction, and instead they opted for purchasing the carbon credits that get generated in different parts of the world. And India was major beneficiary of this mechanism. So such a kind of mechanism which has already been used and implemented, this would now be transformed into a Atmanirbhar type of a scheme wherein the country itself will be developing a carbon market that provides for investments in carbon. It provides for investments in carbon capture. It provides for investments in carbon sequestration, and also promote all major rules related to carbon reduction. And one of the major aspects of these rules is it will always be driven by market-based principles, wherein every initiative that is taken by any entity as part of carbon reduction measures will have a revenue related output, a revenue related outcome which we can make best use of by participating in the market. Now, that is the extended form of carbon market that we have. And this extended form of carbon market will be a gradual changeover or migration or a phase mover from our existing renewable energy market into the larger set of carbon market. So in the renewable energy market, as you are aware, there are different types of markets which operate. One is your bid markets, one is your trading licensee driven market, wherein entities like SECI, NSE, NVVN, and PTC India have played prominent role in developing the tariff-based competitive bidding-based purchases for investments that have happened in the solar and wind space, which has led the country to have established capacity of more than 100 plus gigawatts in the solar space, and shortly this would increase to nearly 200 gigawatts over the period of next 3 to 4 years because of investments that have happened. The benefits of this type of investments which has happened and the route which has been adopted through competitive bidding has now given way to a new type of concept in energy generation, wherein we are now looking at even hybrid projects being bid out, wherein you have combination of solar and wind. We have also had the initial successes related to bidding out for battery storage, which will help to provide the required necessities for providing stable and continuous power from inform-based sources like solar and wind. So you will have combinations of solar plus battery, maybe wind plus battery, or maybe a combination of both with battery. So these are the new aspects which are coming in. And related, in addition to this, one is establishing a dedicated project for maybe a DISCOM or for a transmission company to take care of grid's fluctuating requirement and to also maintain discipline in the grid. The other aspect is, since such storage projects will never be utilized for the duration for which it has been anticipated, such storage projects that get created will have surpluses inbuilt in their own capacities, and these surpluses would be traded to any entity which requires to maintain grid stability and balance within its domain. So when we say within its domain, at the national level, you do have the national grid where there is a unified frequency of 50 Hz, which is wrong. But the national grid also has a decentralized pattern of state grids, wherein every state is also responsible to maintain the demand-supply gap within its state, the demand-supply balance within its states. And storage capacities which get installed now will have surplus capacities which individual states can also procure in the short-term market and attain the demand-supply balance. Now, this demand-supply balance, the storage capacity scaling, it can happen either as a standalone product or it could get coupled with the ancillary services product, which we are expecting to get introduced shortly. The central regulator has already issued the guidelines and procedure for introduction of the primary and secondary services. Shortly, we will also have the tertiary services where through the market, the layers in the storage space will be utilized from the exchange platform for identifying what type of storage, what type of capacities will be utilized for the ancillary services, which will help to maintain the grid frequency and the balance. So when we look at an amalgamation of the existing measures that have been taken, for promotion of market-based renewables. The next phase would be its amalgamation and migration from the existing renewable space to a much larger carbon market that will take place. And I expect whatever the current budget that could come out, that will actually provide for measures which will lead to implementation or attaining net zero goals much prior to the targets which are already set out by the country of 2070. So initial steps we expect that to be taken during this budget itself, wherein promotion related to investments that need to be made in developing the complete carbon market in the Indian way of trading and Indian way of emission trading would get implemented. So that is a big take which I expect from this.